Hello students, how are you all? I hope you guys all are well. I'm your teacher Mona, and today I'm going to discuss the degrees of comparison. So, if you are learning degrees of comparison the first time, so just please calm and what I'm talking about, just listen to me carefully. Okay? So, let's start our today's lecture. And degrees of comparison, just talking about the compare, we have three types of the comparative degree. We have three types of the degrees in the English language, English grammar, and generally the positive, comparative, and the superlative. And many kinds of the degrees, many kinds of the words we have, and the different degrees. And degrees can be used according to the structure of the sentence. When we want to compare the two person, we can use the comparative degree. When we want to compare the more than two-person, we can use the superlative degree, and positive degree generally used in the general sense. So we have three types of the degrees, and you need to understand the concept of the degrees, and you need to memorize the degrees also, because we have so many degrees and we have so many words with the degrees. So you just need to memorize that what is the positive degree, what is the comparative, and what is the superlative degree. So just please try to memorize, and after practicing you will understand that what are the degrees. Okay, so let's start. So we have positive degree. So positive degree, let's say when we talk about or when we speak about the only one person or thing, we use the positive degree. So when we talking about the just only the one person or general sense, it is talking about it is called the positive degree. So like this house is big, this book is very nice, he's tall boy, she's a small girl, she's a tall girl. Okay, this route is so long, this picture is beautiful, this scenery is beautiful. Okay, this city is so large. So when we're talking about this single thing, single person, we can say that we use the positive degree. Okay, or whenever we want to compare, or when we talk about the two person, we generally used the comparative degree. Okay, let's start that. Let's assume that you have two friends and you want to say that he is uh, my good friend more than him. Or when we want to you have two girls and you want to say that she is the more beautiful than her. Okay, or like you want to the compare between two other things, like you have chai or coffee, and you want to say that I like tea more than coffee. So this is just the comparison between the two things. Okay, so whenever you want to compare, you just need to understand that this is the comparative degree. We need to use the comparative degree in the comparison. Okay, like when we compare two-person things each other and we use both positive and comparative degree, like this house is bigger than one, this house is not as big as that one. So we can use the comparative degree when we want to compare, or we can uh, compare the two things or the two-person with the using the positive degree. Or many times examiner can ask the question that please uh, change the form of the sentence or use the positive degree without changing the meaning. So you just need to understand, and you need to do practice more and more exercises, and you will be able to change the form of the sentence, and you will be able to change the degree of the sentence. Okay, or many times it is a general question that they change the degree of the question, or change the its form of the sentence, change the tense of the sentences. This is the very common question. So you need to better understanding with the concept. Okay, like he is taller than his brother. His brother is not as tall as him. So the meaning of the both sentences is the same, but the form is different. The first sentence we are using the comparative degree in the first sentence, and in the second sentence we are using the just the positive degree. So the term taller is the comparative version of the term tall. Like we have tall, taller, tallest. Okay, good, better, best, bad, worst, or when we want to use or superlative degree. So when we want to compare the more than the two persons, two things, then we need to use the superlative degree. So this is the biggest house in the street, because biggest is the superlative degree of the bigger, biggest. And why we need to use the superlative degree here in this sentence? Because we are comparing the all the houses situated in the city or available in the city. So this is the biggest house in the street, okay, or this is the biggest house in the city. And we can say anything, and we want to, whenever we want to compare just two more than two things, we just need to understand that we need to use superlative degree, okay. Or we can say this, the same thing in the positive degree also, or in the comparative degree. This house is bigger than any other house in the street. So this is the comparative sentence, and meaning is not changed. Or when we want to use the positive degree, no other house is as big as the this one. So please try to understand that whenever we need to use superlative degree, just to use superlative degree. When we want to use the comparative degree, just you can say the nobody is bigger than or smaller than. So we just need to use a comparative degree. Please keep this thing, okay, keep remember. And then any other house in the street. And when we want to the use the positive degree, so always this kind of the structure follow, okay, as, such as big as, okay. So this is the positive degree, as good as tall as. So whenever we need to use positive degree, just to say as big as good as, or as tall as the structure of the as is follows in the using the positive degree. So uh, many times examiner asks the question that change the form of the degrees, like superlative to comparative, comparative to positive, positive to comparative, or comparative to superlative. So this is the common thing, and the term biggest is the superlative version of the word big, and the three sentences mean the same thing, okay. So this is the superlative degree. Now you just need to understand the concept, and you just need to practicing more and solve your exercises. Like, he is the tallest in the family. No, or whenever we need to use the comparative degree in the sentence, so we can say he is taller than other people in the house. Or whenever we need to use the positive degree, we can say no other person in the house is as tall as him. So the term tall is the superlative version of the word tall, and all the three sentences meaning the same. So just to try to understand the concept, okay. Concept is more important. Now you need to understand that formation of the comparative and the superlative degrees by addition er or est to the positive degree. So brighter, brighter, bright, brighter, brightest, clever, cleverer, cleverest. So we have many kinds of the verb, and we need to memorize or need to understand all three degrees of the any kind of the word. Sweet, sweeter, sweetest, simple, simpler, simplest, white, whiter, whitest, or fine, finer, finest. So just take the screenshot of these words, and it is important for you. Big, bigger, biggest, hot or hotter, hottest, or dim, dimmer, dimmest, faithful, more faithful. Okay, four adjectives that are made of the two or more syllables, like famous, beautiful, okay, or active. So we need to use the more and most to making the comparative and the superlative degree. Faithful, more faithful, most faithful, famous, more famous, most famous, active, more active, most active, okay, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, good, better, best, old, older, oldest, little, lesser, less, least. Or now we need to solve the exercise, okay. So I hope guys you are getting my point, and you are able to understand that what are the degrees and where we need to use the degrees, okay. And sometimes the student ask the silly question that why we need to use the degrees, why we are learning the voices, why we are learning the tenses. So this is the simple answer of this question, that you are trying to learning the language. And whenever you're trying to learning the language, you need to understand the concept of the language, you need to understand the grammar of the language. If you want to go in the depth of the any kind of the language, you just need to understand the grammar of that language. And if you want to learn just the communication in that language, so you just don't need to operate the language, you just need to understand the concept and just practicing more and more, and you will be able to communicate in the particular language. So now in this exercise we need to complete the following table of the degrees. Okay, so just complete the following table of the degrees, like positive, comparative, superlative. Okay, less, little, less, least, old, older, oldest. Okay, much more, most, big, bigger, biggest, great, greater, greatest. So we have so many kinds of the degrees. Okay, so just try to understand. Like, what are the degrees? Bad, worse, worst. Okay, little, less, least, old, older, oldest, much more, most, big, bigger, biggest, great, greater, greatest, young, younger, youngest, brave, braver, bravest, pretty, prettier, prettiest, और old, older, oldest. Simple, simple. ठीक है, very simple degrees. Lazy, lazier, laziest, और large, larger, largest. Tired, more tired, most tired. You just need to just write the tired. Worthy, more worthy, or most worthy. Useful, more useful, most useful. Interesting, more interesting. Handsome, more handsome, most handsome. Okay, beautiful or wonderful. Wonderful, more wonderful, most wonderful. Pleasant, more pleasant, most pleasant. Or happy, happier, happiest. Okay, so in this way we can fill the blanks. And now to fill the blanks with the correct degree of the comparison. Betty dress is better than, prettier than yours, or better than yours. So prettier. Okay, just fill the prettier than yours, because here we are comparing the two things. Okay, two things of the dresses. Like, Matt is the cleverest boy. Matt is the clever boy in the class, or the clever, more clever, most clever, or cleverest boy in the class. Mr. Graham is the dash man in the town, richest man, because comparison between the more than three. Okay, more than two. This item cost the little, less, least. So this item is cost the, we can say, the least or the little. Okay, so this is the least. Who told you that you are dash than Tim? You are more active. Okay, using the comparison, more active than Tim. This box is the heavy, super, you need to use superlative degree, heaviest. James has 20 silver coins, you have 25. I have 30. I have many more, or most. So James is 20 silver coins. You have 25. I have 30. I have the most. Or your result is not good. You can do better. Your result is not good. You can do better. Or we are getting late. Can't you walk a bit fast? Or we can say bit faster. Just fill the big fast. Okay, just you need to use positive degree. I was very thoughtful of you. Just need to use positive degree. It is the dash story I have heard. So this is the most interesting story. My brother is younger than I am. Younger, use the comparative degree. My dash brother is in Dubai. Elder. Mr. Roy is the oldest member of the club, and Delhi is the hotter than Bangalore. So these are exercises done. Now we have another exercise 9C. Okay, so fill in the blanks with the correct degree of the comparison. Like, please add more sugar to my coffee. I like it sweet, more sweet, or most sweet, sweet, sweeter, sweetest. I like sweetest. I just use I like sweet. Okay, I like it sweet. This shirt is too expensive. I want something cheaper because this shirt is too expensive and I want something cheaper, something less expensive then. Okay. We have arrived too late. We should have come earlier. We should have come earlier. Please add more sugar to my coffee. I like it sweeter. Now, rich people can afford to buy the costly things, buy the costliest thing, also we can say costliest. You are so small and you have climbed the highest. Whenever we need to use the superlative degree, just remember that D is preceded by the superlative degree. Okay, I have only 100 and you want the most expensive toy. Most expensive toy. She may be ignorant, but she is the most most beautiful lady I have ever seen. The more you cry, the more miserable you will feel. The more miserable you will feel. The flood situation this year is worse than last year. Why we are using this comparative degree? Because here then is using on and whenever then always preceded by the comparative degree. Okay, this room is too small. I thought it would be bigger. Okay, prevention is better than cure. Comparative degree of good. Does the earth look dash from the space? Does the earth look large? Just need to use positive degree. Okay, is Australia the largest island? Largest island. Nothing is as light as a feather. Use positive degree. So we have done all the three exercises and these exercises are done. Now we need to use listening and speaking skills like read the sentence and identify the adjectives in the DEM. So this is the most common exercise. This is the very simple exercise because we have already discussed the adjectives and now this task is these simple for you that you need to identify the adjectives. Like we have Anushri is an intelligent girl. Intelligent is the adjective. They live in a big, beautiful house. Both are the adjectives. My mother received an antique vase filled with fragrant flowers. So antique vase. Antique is the adjective. Okay. These books belong on that shelf. These books, adjective. Whose money is lying on the table. My food will be delivered soon. My, my possessive adjective. We once owned 6 cats. Adjective of number. The mountains are covered with shiny snow. Okay. Now adjective follow a particular order when there are more than one in front of the noun. Okay, so you just need to understand this table also, because this table is the more important, and whenever you need to use 2 or more than 3 adjectives in a single sentence, you just need to understand this table, and by following this table you can easily use the adjectives 2 or more than 3 adjectives in the single sentence without making any error. So this is the important thing for you. So let's uh, read the table, and if you want to take the screenshot, just take the screenshot. And now you just need to read the table and understand that how can we use more than 2 adjectives in the single sentence. Okay, so let's start. Quantity, value, size, age, shape, color, origin, material. Okay, so whenever you need to use 2 or more than 3 adjectives in the single sentence, so place them according to the this table: quality, value, size, age, shape, color, origin, or material. Or you can make the mnemonic for this. Okay, like QV, QVS, AS. Okay, .com. This is the name of the website. Okay, to remember or to memorize the adjectives, order of the adjectives, like qvsas.com, qvsas.com, qvsas.com. Quality, value, size, age, shape, and .com, it just com means color, origin, or the material. So qvsas.com, just remember. Okay, two good, large, old, square, blue, Indian, wooden. So here we have some examples, like quantity means two. Okay, value means good, bad, fast, slow. So good. Size means large. Two good, large, old, square, blue, Indian, wooden. Okay, so this is the website name, just to keep remember, and you will need to follow this order whenever you need to use 2 or more than 3 adjectives in the single sentence. Four, pretty, small, or new or old. Oval, shy, oval, bright in Italian, cotton. Okay, so just take the screenshot and try to memorize. Okay, now unjumble the sentence and put the adjectives in the correct order. So just read the sentence and you need to put the order in the correct, put the sentence in the correct order. Just try to understand. Bought a I new blue beautiful sari yesterday. So what we can say, I bought a new blue beautiful sari yesterday. Sorry. Sari yesterday. Okay, like quantity. Okay, value. Now we need to understand the color, because we don't have any shape and size here. So color or origin, beautiful, sari material yesterday. Okay, now an excellent, this round is antique wooden table. Okay, so we can say, how can we jumble the sentence like, this is an excellent, excellent round antique wooden table. Okay, now what do you need to do here? So live we big green in the white and the house. So we can say, we live big green white, big green and white, big green and white house. So we live we live in the big, just to write the sentence, we live in the big green and white house, green and white house. Friend lost my red watch round beautiful. So what we can say, my friend lost red round beautiful watch. Okay, we an American now amazing movie watched. So we can, what we can say, we we watched new American amazing movie. Or so here we have completed our positive degrees, or we have completed the degrees. So this was your chapter, and before starting the other chapter, I want to give you the review of the previous chapter, the degrees. Okay, so you just need to understand the degrees. So today we have discussed the degrees, and what are the degrees, how can we use the degrees, how can we change the form of these degrees, and mainly how can we write the single sentence in the three form of the degrees. So we will discuss it, and just to keep the review of this chapter. So today we have discussed the degrees. We have three types of the degrees generally: the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. Okay, whenever we need to use whenever we need to talk about just only one person, one thing, we need to use positive degree. Whenever we want to compare, we need to use the comparative degree. And whenever we need to use or compare more than three, we need to use superlative degree. And we have many words, and just need to memorize the degrees of the words. Okay, so just take the screenshot and memorize the degrees. And after that, we have solved the exercise. We have solved first exercise, so we need to fill the blanks with the correct form of the degrees. So for this, you need to memorize the degrees. Now fill in the blanks with the correct degree of the comparison. So just in this exercise, you need to understand that whenever the comparison between the two things, you can use the comparative degree. When it is talking about the single thing or the single person, you need to use positive degree. And whenever the comparison between more than two, you need to use the superlative degree. Okay, so just try to understand the sentence by reading the sentence. And now we have solved our another exercise, like please add more sugar to my coffee, I like it sweeter, sweeter. So whenever the concept is the same, whenever you need to use or compare the two things, you can use the simply the comparative degree. And here we need to identify the adjectives, and just to try to understand that the order of the adjective. And we have made the mnemonic for it: qbsas.com. Okay, quantity, value, size, age, shape, color, origin, material. Okay, so in this way you can place the order and just understand the and make the sentences. So we have discussed the adjectives or the degrees of comparison for today, and now it's time to wrap up our class, and we will uh, meet in the next class. I will catch you tomorrow. I will catch you tomorrow in the next class. Till then, you guys can keep watching, keep learning, and I will meet you tomorrow. Okay, guys. Till then, bye bye.